I am not for black people. I'm for white people because that's the group I belong to. That's the group that accepts me and says, hey, come on in, you're one of us. Black people don't do that. They say, hey, how are you? But you're different and we can be friends, but you're not really one of us. And I'm for the group that wants me to be part of it, just like black people, just like everybody else. And I like things about white society. That's the place I want to live. I'm half-blooded Indian, but I grew up in white society and identified as white, and it is safe. It is like Mayberry everywhere you go. It really is. Even the poor areas and white communities are safe. The people are friendly. There's plenty of food to eat, and there are fights sometimes and there are problems, but it is at a minimal. It's just like Mayberry. It's very nice and very polite. It can kind of get boring and not very evolved. I mean, it's not perfect. The people are fake. The people with money are just like people with money all everywhere. I mean, they're still human beings, but the things that the white culture has created as a way to live together it's the nicest environment I've seen. And I've been out of the country a few times and around the country. I've not seen anything that good. And I want to be I want the group running things to accept me as part of it. I do not want Christians to get more power. I do not want Christians to run the country. I do not want a Christian nation. I grew up going to church, but I'm not a Christian. I've been to church functions and to church parties and in church groups. I don't want to be limited by what they decided to limit themselves with. I want a much more expanded worldview. I don't belong to that group. I'm not part of it. So I don't want that group to be in charge. I want the group that accepts me to be in charge, just like everybody else on the planet. And that's what black people want. They don't want shared with white people. They don't even know how to do that because no one on the planet has ever had two different cultures intermingle. You have to have one shared culture, and black people don't want to give up their culture. They've learned how to operate in it. That's who they are. And they want their culture to be dominant so they'll fit into all of society. And we talk about them like they just want, like they don't have a culture that they care about just like white people. And that's leaves too much out of the conversation. Black people want the whole country to be a black culture because then they'll fit right in. And so it's a two-way street. And until we start looking at it as a two-way street, we're not going to have the honest conversation necessary to get things at least better and on the right track to being fixed.